celebrating everyday heroes.
We put up a call for nominations and hundreds of entries came to our office. People nominating Ghanaians who are making impact in their various communities. After whittling it down, we have decided to go to these community leaders, people who are inspiring their communities, and hear exactly from them what story they have, for which reason they were nominated. Today, I've come to an area around Waja on the Kaswa Road towards the central region to speak to one of the persons nominated, Daisy. We want to know what Daisy's story is and what Daisy has been doing. For many young girls and struggling students, Miss Daisy Mina entry is more than a name. She is a second chance. Through her NGO, she restores dignity and hope by awarding scholarships to needy students and teenage mothers who once believed their dreams had ended. She has refurbished broken school buildings and revived silent libraries, transforming abandoned spaces into places of possibility. Where society saw limitations, she built opportunities. First of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
How did you feel when you heard that you have been nominated first of all and then eventually chosen as a top 10?
I'm a known advocate for children literacy, women entrepreneurship, and women empowerment, with focus on slums in rural Ghana. So for my works, I don't usually do Accra, I do the slums and the rural areas. I'm trying to make education fun, attractive, accessible, and sustainable. For me, when I was growing up, I knew education was my only way out of poverty. But I realized that most people don't know that. And so they try to do all sorts of things, drugs, peddling, prostitution. And I wanted to use myself as an example for these young people to emulate and see that, listen, with education, you can get there.
So I chose Daisy because I've actually volunteered with her before, so I know what she's doing. The others I just hear, so I cannot nominate someone that I haven't worked closely with.
You keep saying we. What is this we, or who are these we, and what is this team?
Oh, so I have about 8 constant team that I work with, from PR to volunteers, management, all of that. Speaker management. Then we have every year for us here at the non-profit. After every outreach, we dissolve the volunteer page and recruit. Okay. I don't like familiarity.
Okay.
It stalls work. So once we're done with an outreach, I recruit new volunteers, and we've had over 60 at a time volunteers. So we renovate a school block. We register 2,000 children on the NHIS. We do health screening. We brought in doctors, nurses, nutritionists, dietitians, lab technicians. We tested them for hepatitis, malaria, typhoid, and HIV. And then we also shared stationaries.
Why did you decide that for you education is the key and you have to focus on that?
I think my first encounter was when I met a child who was in SHS and it wasn't necessity, it was a one word, I think it was necessity or elephant. And this is a child who was going to write the beats and they couldn't spell it. So I realized that, the educationist people are doing well, but then they also need some of us to also come on board and help.
Of all the places you've gone to, which one did you find most exciting, most humbling, most challenging, and give you the most satisfaction?
My most exciting would be Volta region. I was in Mafiego, and for the first time I was well received, because usually with what we do, we've been spat at, we've been shouted at, we've been cast out, we've been sacked from community. What made me cry was Sisala East. there's a community called Drew. We reach out to the entire community, and the journey itself, we drove over 16 hours. The tires were busting here and there.
Was that your first time up north?
Yes, and accident, we were having accident. It was crazy, and I don't know, I think something was, if you're not smart, you think there's a force against you not to go there. So the purpose of the trip was to reach out to the entire community to, give them relief funds. Okay. So there was food, there was stationaries, there were clothing, and other relief items. A small non-profit. I literally have to work 4 or 5 jobs to come and put the fund in the non-profit. I don't have international grants, nothing. I found my non-profit by myself. So yeah,
that's actually what I was going to ask.
So I'm always working like a horse.
So you use your own money to do this?
Yes, work? And then every September I become a beggar, because September we have our back to school and we have over 43 children on our scholarship scheme. So I need to pay tuition fee.
You have a scholarship scheme?
Yes, scholarship welfare. The welfare is for children who have been able to put in school, but they don't have pocket money for food. So we give. It used to be 6 cedis, but now we give 8 cedis each to that child. Then we have for feeding at school, and then we have those who are paying the tuition fee. And I can't stop. I was in Tamale in December. I adopted 2 more. There's 8-year-old Hanan who's amputated. I'm trying to figure out how to get him a prosthetic leg. There's 14-year-old Fadila who ran away from child marriage, who hasn't seen the walls of a classroom at 14 years old.
In my community, we have a lot of teenagers, dropouts, and they are doing that. So I'm here to console them and also go and teach them, sensitize them on education.
So the Pulse project were training women in batik and tie and dye. It was one of the reasons I was in Tamale. We trained over 500 women in batik and tie and dye. I should have won one of them.
We're looking for an opportunity like this to have this kind of training so that we also go back and train other people in the community.
I want to go till I see that, Charlie, that's equity.
Are you sure you can reach that?
I am very sure.
Which means you are willing to take more people on?
More people. I'm willing to do more jobs, and hopefully more people come on board.
She is very passionate about what she does. So when we go to outreaches, she goes her all in now. Sometimes she borrows money. We sometimes go for fundraising, asking people, soliciting for funds and stuff.
I have medication from LITAB. It was supposed to be for the SMILE project, but I don't even have money to go renovate the school, to do the painting, the doodling work, pay workers to work. So without money, the product is vague. And you see, I'm holding the product. So we need massive funding, massive. And see, we're very transparent with the expenditure. I'm Daisy Mina Entry, founder and curator here at Gold Coast Literacy Program. Join us in changing narratives, leaving none behind.
That's a conversation with Daisy, one of our nominees, top 10, and she's told her story. Of course, on Community Legends on Channel 1 TV, we hear all the stories, and at the end of the day, one person emerges the overall winner. But whatever the case may be, this is a story that is very, very important, helping build a community, one child at a time in one corner somewhere in Ghana. This is Umaru Sandamadu. You're watching Community Legends on Channel 1 Television.
Community Legends, celebrating everyday heroes. Community Legends, celebrating everyday heroes.
Hello there, welcome to Channel 1 TV. This is Community Legend, a special platform that we have created to celebrate individuals whose dedication, their sacrifice, their service is changing one thing or the other in their communities. Now on this platform, today we are looking at one of the individuals who, was nominated when nominations were open. Well, he's doing something exceptional in the Central Region, an immigration officer, Elijah Awono. In the OT region, leadership is not only about position, it is about presence. Awono Elijah Wope is an immigration officer, a community leader, and a young entrepreneur whose heart beats for the vulnerable. Beyond his official duties, he has made it his mission to support those often forgotten, elderly women struggling to feed themselves, patients burdened with hospital bills, families overwhelmed by hardship. Where others pass by, he stops. Where others sympathize, he acts. Through food donations, relief materials, and quiet acts of generosity, he has restored dignity to many homes. For him, service is not an event, it is a lifestyle.
We all have a duty to contribute our quota to the nation Ghana. And so I also believe that through my professional skill, I can do that contribution. So I decided to also partake in the public service. And so it's all about service to the nation, service to Mother Ghana in our little way. I love entrepreneurship. I love youth empowerment. I love to reach out to the youth to inspire them through entrepreneurship skills. I have a foundation called Grace on Duty Foundation, and it all came about when I visited the community and I saw one old woman, but she's very strong. So I decided to know more about her. And so the first time I engaged her, and the second time I visited again, and I realized that she's still strong after 5 years. So I decided, no, these are people that we need to, in the sense that she didn't give birth, she didn't have a child. And so such people, how do we also be of benefit to them? So I decided that then the core mandate of our foundation will be to the aged. So she has been our focus. So she was the one we attended to. We distributed or donated some mattresses and food stuff to her in a way to also relieve the burden of not having a child, but at least she should also be supported. So basically, we captured her in our mandate, and so we realized that there are many of them outside there that also may need the help. So that's how come we have extended it and became, let me say, our main project, Care for the Aged. And so last year too, we went to the hospital St. Francis, and then the aged that were admitted by them, we extended our donations to them. We gave them some cash, we donated water, solely for the aged. That was about 65 years. So we believe that those people are vulnerable. Some of them have children, but the children they have does not tend to their need. So since we are also available, we should also try to do something to also. It's just about helping the vulnerable. Yeah. Yes, those two acts of kindness really touched my heart and has motivated me to continue, because I realized that many of them need our services.
He really do help his community. I think he's heading one church. I don't really know the name of the church, but I think he's heading one of the churches at his community. So he is quite very okay with the community people over there, and yeah, he helps them.
I'm from a beautiful but small village where our major let me say farm produces cassava. It is cassava tree gari that they use to raise us, pay our school fees. So one time I was thinking about value addition. What can I do differently to support the community where I'm coming from? So that ignites the spirit of entrepreneurship. So I decided to do something on my own. So my first product was a banku mix. We have the gari mix as well, upe gari mix. So it's all about thinking about my community and how I can also help them to drive sustainable economic growth. During that time of the conflict, though I wasn't present, but my parents were there. So we decided that, okay, what can we also do, we that are not there, especially in the heat of the war. So we decided to mobilize ourselves on social media, and I was given the mandate because I think because of my security background. So on daily basis, we speak to ourselves. I bring out code, I design flyers, peace campaign flyers, and so I share with them daily the need for us to collaborate, the need for us to work out for peace. If you look at the conflict, it's all about 3 tribes. And so we have intermarried. As I'm seated here, I am half an Adele, half an Achode. So I don't see the reason why the 2 of us should be fighting.
He believes utilize what you have in the society, what is around you. That's what he believes. So when you work with him, he will tell you what is closer to you is what you can benefit out of.
Consider our region, a lot of the youth are jobless, and I believe that one way we can turn the situation around is through entrepreneurship. And so my vision is to start a movement. I call it the villagepreneur. It's 2 words I've combined. That's village and entrepreneur. I captured my people there in the village, and I believe that we have a lot, like the cassava, we have the maize. It's just about value addition. The first time I had the call from your team, I was amazed because that alone inspired me that no, I have a lot to do, or I should keep up with what I'm doing. At least want you to watch this and be inspired that, oh, there's one immigration officer who is into entrepreneurship, who is into this. So that will also motivate someone to also start something. So it's a big change, and I believe that it's going to have a long effect on my life from today.
I know he has a foundation that supports the needy. Yes, and last year also, if I recall, my memory set me right. I remember they attended to a certain widow, and then also the hospital here. They were the ward trying to support the needy.
It's all about the passion to serve humanity through my skill. So I came across the opportunity that Ghana Immigration was recruiting health professionals that include laboratory scientists. So I decided to take that as an opportunity to also serve my country and to also ensure that my skill also benefits the community, like a lab scientist. So we applied, and then God being so good on my part, I was enlisted among them.
When I heard it, I was so much impressed and very happy, knowing that certainly at the end of the day he will take the challenge. So I'm very much happy that he has been nominated.
One of the ways God has helped me is having a supportive boss. For example, you want to embark on a project at OT, you need to seek permission. But if you don't have a supportive boss who understands what you are doing, they will not even grant you the opportunities. When you showcase what you have, definitely someone somewhere watching you will support you. Like I said, I have a supportive boss that when I table my request, is able to grant it.
Inspiring story indeed. But will Elijah Awuno, one of the 10 nominees in this title race, be eventually crowned the title holder as Channel 1 TV's community legend? Well, we hope to see. I am Akosia Ochi. Many thanks for watching. See you again next time.
Community Legends, celebrating everyday heroes. Community Legends, celebrating everyday heroes.
In many classrooms, lessons are measured by books and exams. But in Krobo Odumase, one teacher is shaping something far deeper: dignity, confidence, and hope. Michael Kolite is not just educating minds, he is restoring worth, one child at a time. On Community Legends, we bring you the story of a man who refuses to let poverty or circumstances silence the dreams of his students. In the quiet town of Krobo Odumase in the Eastern region, inside an ordinary classroom, extraordinary compassion is at work. Michael Kolite stands before his students not just as a teacher, but as a protector of their dignity. For children living with disabilities, he creates a space where they are not overlooked but uplifted, where their abilities are nurtured and their confidence restored. But this impact goes even further. For young girls forced to miss school because they cannot afford sanitary pads, Michael steps in, not as an authoritative figure, but as a guardian who understands that education must never pause for hardship. With every act of kindness, every quiet intervention, he is rewriting futures, ensuring that no child is left behind and no dream is denied. Because for Michael Kolite, teaching is not just a profession, it is a calling to protect, to uplift, and to restore hope.
This is Michael Kolite, who is a teacher at Odumase Presby GHS. We are in a community where we have to be each other's keeper, especially if you are a teacher, where you get involved with different kinds of personalities, children coming from different backgrounds, children coming from different homes. So we are all experiencing the inclusive education. So as a result of that, most of these kids are actually fend for themselves. If you were here on Wednesdays, I don't think you come and meet the number we are meeting today, because it's a major market day here in Agomanya. Some of these students on Wednesdays unfortunately had to skip school, go to the markets, and then most of them push wheelbarrow, and that is what they use to fend for themselves. So as a teacher, if you are teaching students of this nature, it's only fair that you get closer to them. You let them know that, hey, it is part of life. Whatever they are going through is part of the struggle. That should even give them the motivation to learn, so that in future they grow up to become responsible adults. Together with my colleagues, we have majority or a few of these students who are going through these peculiar problems. Inside, these are things we do behind the scene, and therefore it usually do not come out.
Our colleague and friend, Michael Kolite, really helped the kids behind us in those days before
the government came in with the initiative, yes, you could see that most of the girls always want to approach him, not knowing he been helping. And then even some even gave him titles like my #1 teacher. Why? Because when they are into their menses or those stuff, they don't feel shy to go. It's not about those days that we feel that when you are menstruating, you need to go to the females or whatever. This one, he has bridged the gap.
Growing up through the hard way and coming to actually meet kids who are also going through similar situations, you can only have a feel of what they are going through, and that is where the motivation is coming from.
Sir Colette is the kindest teacher we have ever had in Odumasi Presby, and he helps us in many ways. He motivates us to learn, especially with the ladies. He tells us that any challenge that we are facing, we should come to him and he will help us. And some of us too, we don't bring money to school. Sir Colette gives us money to buy food, and he even, and sometimes too, he provides sanitary pads for us the ladies.
If we are not coming through and these kids are left on their own, motivating themselves becomes very difficult. It will interest you to know some of them even don't have the will to even perform homeworks that we give out. I sit them down and tell them my story, tell them what I went through growing up, and so for me to rise to get to this position, they can also do same, and that is the motivation for me that keeps me doing what I keep doing for these kids.
It has impacted so much on the students, especially those who are going to the second cycles now. It's impacted a lot.
Sir Colettes help us through the science. During me, sometimes I find it difficult in the science class, so sometimes he provide the past questions for us to solve. He sometimes advise us on how to resist boys from disturbing us. God be bless him for his hard work. Sir Colette is a kind teacher. He helps us and assists us in our difficult times. He even brought past questions, BEC of 2024 and 2025, for us to learn and prepare ahead of time. He helps us in some times of our needs. He helps the students, those who lost their parents. He helps those who are needy, those who goes to the market to go and sell, push the trackers to get income. He also helps us to learn. He encourages us always to speak good English. Sometimes we just want to play. We think that learning is distracting us, but he encourages us to learn so that one day we become responsible people.
Investing in human resources is something that yield dividends in some years to come. And so growing up and seeing them, majority have passed through our hands. Most of them have completed their tertiary education, and you could see how impactful it has been on their lives. That's what we are continuing with. So that I always tell them, my wish for them is to get to the hospital at my old age and meet one of them as the doctor or one of them as the nurses who can easily see me and say, hey, this is my teacher. And that is what keeps us going. That is what keeps motivating us, to let them know that we are putting our hope in them. Their parents are putting their hope in them. The teachers are putting their hope in them. And therefore, if they do anything contrary to catch up their education, they are going to disappoint not just themselves, their teachers, their parents, and even their community at large.
Anytime this man is on duty, children troop into the school as if there is the president of Ghana is coming to the school. And then in the classroom activities, what he does, we realize that the children are picking more, they are passing more in his subject.
My science teacher is Sir Colette. He cares for us so much. He provides us, if we get closer to him, he always advises us to learn. But if we misbehave, he'll tell us that this thing you are doing, you stop so that you focus on your studies. He always helps us with our needs. He always supports us. He advises us mostly. He tells us stories about his life.
If the government can also come in and introduce the feeding of these children, not only at the primary level, but to the JHS, it will also help curtail some of the issues that we are currently going through.
Can talk about his kindness. There are many times, countless number of times that he buys food for some of the kids around. So most often you realize that during break time, especially the kids from the primary, you see them running around his table just because they are waiting for food. And this one is a sign that the children, it urges the children to come to school.
Michael Kolete chooses to see, to care, and to act. His story reminds us that true education goes beyond the classroom. It touches lives, restores dignity, and changes destinies. Michael Kolete is not just a teacher, he's a beacon of hope. And that is why he is our community legend. I am Umaru Sandamado. Keep watching Channel 1 Television.
Community Legends, celebrating everyday heroes.
This is more